Hello, everyone, and today we are going to talk about TestNG, basic thing, right? And we'll understand about uh, what is TestNG, why to use it. We'll do the setup, we'll see some example, and we'll see how to use it properly. Right? So, with the coding example itself, we will see that. Okay. So the very first question is, what is TestNG? Okay. So TestNG is unit testing framework, first of all. So let's go to the official website of it. If you will simply search TestNG, testng.org is the official website. Okay. And if you will go down, they are saying that TestNG is a testing framework inspired from JUnit and NUnit, but introducing some new functionalities that make it more powerful and easier to use. Okay, so this is a very basic definition and the um, advantages they have mentioned in their own website, their official website. Now the question is, what is this JUnit? So JUnit is again a testing framework which was developed to do unit testing, right? In Java coding especially. NUnit is for I think C# coding, okay, but still it's relatable. JUnit and NUnit is relatable. TestNG is like it is what we say inspired by JUnit. So a lot of things which you have in JUnit, you have in TestNG also, and some extra things you have, right? So they have provided a lot of things like you can configure your test, you can make it data driven, data provider is there, it supports the parameter, execution model is there, lot of things. Maybe in future we will see all these things. But now your question must be, what is right? Like why to make a testing framework, right? Your question may be like this. Let's understand. Let's make a simple program. Okay, so in Eclipse, what you can do is, okay, before we start Eclipse, you must have something in your system, right? So let's talk about setup part first. The thing is, you should have Java in your system. So when I say Java, it's JDK basically. You should have JDK in your system, and if you have latest, it's perfectly fine. You guys must be knowing the official website of uh, Java. But if you don't know, I'll show you here oracle.com/Java. Okay, Oracle is the real vendor for the JDK. Okay, so if you see here, JDK 21 is here. JDK is Java Development Kit. And if you have, it is based on what machine you have. So if you have Windows, you can click here and you can install. So I'm not going into how to install Java and all. I'm saying prerequisite is Java. Okay, then Eclipse. Eclipse to write your program as IDE. We say Eclipse is IDE, Integrated Development Environment, where you create your project, you compile your project. So these are the basic requirement. Okay. Official website for Eclipse is eclipse.org, I think. So here also you can get the latest by clicking on the download. But when you download it the MSI if it is possible, and then you should. So Eclipse have different flavors. So you should have Eclipse IDE for Java developers. So once you will start installing it, it will ask you what flavor of Eclipse you want. So it should be Eclipse IDE for Java developers that I have in my system. Fine. So these are the two prerequisites. Another prerequisite is in Windows, especially, you should set your system environment variable. So that is actually Java underscore home. You should set uh, here. So let me show you. If I'll go to my environment variable here, if I'll say edit environment variable, you should create Java underscore home. Okay. Um, Let me show if I have in my system. So how you can create it? It's like this. You can say new, and then you have to provide two things. One is, okay, if I'll say new, you have to say Java underscore home and the path where your JDK is present. So for example, in my system, I have at C drive program files slash Java slash JDK and a particular version. So once you install Java, you will also get a Java folder in your program files inside your program files directory. There you will have JDK. So you have to give the path till the JDK 7, whatever version you have. One more thing which you should set is path. Okay, so once you install the Java, you should just a minute. So Java home should be where you have JDK path. Okay. And there is another path variable which you should set. Uh, there you should just add wherever is your Java home. So JDK path will be there. JDK path slash bin. Till bin folder you have to provide. Okay. Till bin folder. So for example, in my system, if I'll show you path and you can go edit and say new and just put wherever your uh, JDK bin is present. Okay, so I have done it like this, like percent Java home percent slash bin. That is also fine because Java home you have already set. So you can say slash bin. That is also fine, or you can give the full path till the bin folder of your JDK. Fine. So that is about setting the environment variable part. Now you can create project here. So let's create a simple Maven project. So I'll say file, new project in the Eclipse, and there are a lot of options available here. I am selecting Maven project because it gives you a lot of, you know, flexibility and the benefits, how you want to create your project and the structure, what dependencies you want to add, what libraries you want to add. So I'm selecting this. I'll say next. And here it is asking me to select some options. So I will say create a simple project archetype. So yeah, it's good to check this as of now. I don't want to select a particular, different kind of archetype. Whatever it is provided by default, I want to work with that. And I will say next. And here I'll provide the group ID. So group ID you can provide, let's say, I'll say automation practice. And artifact ID will be actually your project name. Okay. So here I will say um, you can give any name, but let me give um, test ng practice. Okay. And that's it. I'll say finish. You don't have to provide anything else. All other things are just optional thing. Okay. So TestNG practice, that is basically we have created here. So if you see here, this project is created. Now here, if you see, there are a lot of folders created at the left hand side. If you see source main Java, source main resource, source test Java, a lot of things. I'm not going to talk about those things because our objective today to understand about what is TestNG, you got it right, but why to use it now, I'm going in that part. Okay, I'm explaining why to use this. So here let's create a simple Java program. Inside this source test Java, right click and say new and say package. I'm giving a name, let's say just practice. Package name is practice. And inside the package, I will create a new class, which is like Java class. And I'm saying demo one. That's it, demo one. Okay. And classically, like what we have in your Java program, generally you write it like this, correct? So what do you do in your Java program? You have a class name here, then public static void main, and you write your code. So you can have any number of lines here, right? So I'm writing I am learning test ng. Okay. And then you can have anything like integer x is equals to 20, integer y is equals to 45, integer z is equals to x plus y, and then you want to print the value of z. Okay. The value the value of z is equals to plus z. Writing a simple Java program just to check whether my, at least the Java program is working fine or not. Then only I'll be able to explain you what is TestNG and all. So I'm just running this program to check things are working fine or not. So yeah, it is executed and you will be able to see in your console output or whatever output has come. So let me set it here. Yeah. So if you see here, we have created this demo.java and based on whatever code we have written, it is showing us the output, right? So we have simply declared int x is equals to this, y is equals to this, z is equals to this, and we have printed the value of z. Very simple program, done. So it's working. Now let's understand that your automation script is all about coding. So you have to make a lot of code, lot of classes, right? Lines of code, different functions. So you will keep on writing the code because you want to do some, test steps. You want to automate some test steps. But then it will be very difficult to manage, right? You will keep on writing your test automation script. If you guys have worked on automation, it's like you will keep on adding your automation code in Java program, let's say, or any programming language. You will write multiple lines, but then it will be difficult to understand where is my test case one, where is my test case two. If there is a dependency between the test, how you will do it if you'll write simple Java program. You understand my point? Let's say this is test case one, and you are writing, your test steps. That's fine here. There may be then other test cases, right? So you will be creating another class, right? It will be difficult to understand where is the code, right? Where is how to maintain the code? Where is the test output? First of all, where is the test output? So, for example, if I want to check X and y, which is 20 and 45, and I want to check z is coming as 65 or not. Let's say my objective is whether z is 65 or not, right? So here I can do if else. So I can say that if z is equals to 65, then say test passed. Sy. So I'll say passed. And if z is not equal to 65, then I will say failed. Means test failed, right? I can do that. And if I will execute this, if I will execute this line of code, so I will get whether it is passed or failed. See here I'm getting it's passed because z is 65. And there may be thousands lines of code on in automation. As of now, I have taken simple Java program. So to properly maintain the test case, to properly get the test output, and this is not the good way of saying whether my test case is passed or not, right? There must be some assertion mechanism, right? So to resolve all this problem, JUnit was invented, and then now another better framework, which is TestNG, is invented. The same code which we have written here can be written as a test case format. Okay. Now we will understand how to write this same code in another way, like which will look like a test case. Okay, which will look like a proper test case. This is a simple Java program. Fine. Now let's understand that setup part. Okay, so setup part for the TestNG itself now. Very first thing is we should add the dependency. So go to the pom.xml in your project. Here now you will say dependencies. Okay. Inside that, you can add all the dependencies which is related to your project or whatever libraries you want to use in your project. So as of now, you have to add TestNG. How to get it? So you can simply go to mvnrepository.com. So this is a website where you can get any repository, any library, okay, which is generally open source based libraries. So here I'll simply search TestNG. Search it. Okay, so the very first one is org.testng. I will click here. So the latest one is 7.8.0. I will click here and you can simply copy this and put it here in the dependencies. Okay, that's it. Some of you may be confused that we have not added Selenium. Let's understand. TestNG is nothing to do with the Selenium. TestNG is itself independent test framework. If you want to use Selenium code to manage your test cases, that's a different thing. You can plug, you can, work with Selenium and TestNG both. But TestNG itself is independent framework. Okay. Now, this is one thing which you have to add. You can format it. Okay. Done and save this. Once you will save this, you will see that in the Maven dependency folder will be created in your project, and it is showing me that it has added one, two, three, four different jars. It has added automatically TestNG 7.8.0, and maybe this SLF4J, JCommander, and jQuery is something which will come automatically when you will have TestNG. Okay, and it's better as of now. Delete this line. Scope is equals to test. I am deleting this line. I have deleted it. Okay. Now, you have done this. Now it's better you can add the uh, plugin in your Eclipse also, right? So you can go to the help and say Eclipse Market Space. Okay. And in Eclipse Marketplace, search for TestNG. Okay. It may take some time. Let's wait for it. See, jars are added through the pom.xml, but we are adding a plugin so that we will see all the options related to TestNG while you will write your test class or while you run your, test methods. So here I'm writing TestNG, searching for it, hit enter. You will see TestNG for Eclipse, right? And say install. I have already installed, so it is showing me installed. Otherwise, you just click on install. It may take some time. It may give you option that select or deselect some other option. Just say select all and apply. If it will give you warning, it's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. If it will ask you to accept some kind of certificate or license, just say accept in the radio button and then go ahead, right? And at the end, it may ask you to restart Eclipse, so you can restart then. So here in the Eclipse marketplace, you have to add TestNG. If you are not able to do it through this way, there is another way. You can simply go to help, install new software, and say add. There is another way here. So alternatively, you can do this thing. Give the name as TestNG. Location. So this location, you can get it from the uh, TestNG website. If I'll go to the download, hold on. Yes, this one. So you can copy this. There is extra dot here at the end. You should delete that. I'm going back and I'll provide this dot you have to delete at the end and say add. Okay, that's it. Again, if it will ask you or it will ask you to wait for some time. If it will ask you to select something, just select all. If there is any warning, just have that warning and go ahead. Okay, that's it. So in this way, you will get TestNG. But then you have added it to Eclipse. You have to add it to your project now. So how you can do it? Right click on your project, say build path, configure build path, and go to the Java build path libraries and say add library. In the library, you will be able to see TestNG, say next, and say finish. So I have added TestNG in my project. It's like this now. And I'm able to see this old J2SE, so I am deleting it. By default, for any project, it is showing me 1.5. But I want to change the JRE. So here you can say add library and say JRE system library, select it, say next, and use this, the default one. So I have the latest JRE with me, so I will use this. I'll say finish and I will say apply and close. Done. So this is the minimum basic thing you have to do to work with the TestNG. Now the thing is, now the same code I can write as a test case. So I'm creating another class now, new class, and I'll give a name. So let's say demo 2. And this time I'll not create main function because when you are working with TestNG, you don't have to write main. Okay, so I'm at demo2.class. Here, what you have to do is say at the rate and say test. Okay, and control space. So this will give you option what library you want to use. So test is very basic annotation, the very first annotation in TestNG. So you have to import org.testng.annotations.test. And here I will write public void, let's say any name it can be, right? So login test or anything you can have. I'm writing test one here. And the same code, I'm putting it here. The same code which we have written in demo one in main function, I'm writing it here. And now I will do right click and I'll say run as testng test. See, it will give you, it is not giving me run as Java application. Why it is not giving me? Because here in demo one, I had main function. So it is showing me run as Java application. But demo two, I have used one annotation at the rate test and there is no main function. So when I'm doing right click, it is saying run as testng test. When I have executed it, it is executed and it's working perfectly fine. It is showing me some result also that you have test one, it took this many time. It's green, means it's passed. If I see my console output, there also it is showing me all the things which are done in that test one code. There is test run one, there is zero failure, there is zero skip. Okay. So this is the very basic thing about the setup about test ng.